right. They are making only air pressure adjustments to try to help him. Trouble on the track. Alan?
It's actually on pit road. Dale Jarrett is turned around and facing the wrong way on pit road. Marty, what's up there?
The team actually chose this pit stop because they had so much room, but this morning they met together and told DJ it was going to be very tough to get to pit road. I talked to a spotter, Bob Jeffries. As you see Jimmy Johnson slide to a stop, we're trying to slow down a little bit. He said that was going to be DJ's toughest task. This is the first pit stall at the end of pit road. He had to get low down, then got spun around. Too much rear brake in the car, probably, wouldn't you say, Wally?
Yeah, that's especially if these cars are tight here, Marty. If you've got a tight race car, you're going to dial rear brake in to help loosen the car up. But you've got to remember that when you're making pit stop, because when you come down pit lane and jump on those brakes, you've got a lot of rear brake in the car, and that's going to spin you out.
The caution is coming out. The caution is coming out because of the situation on pit road involving Dale Jarrett's car. There is apparently a crewman down there, and they are putting the caution out so they can close the pit road.
Well, I wonder if any of these cars, we've had cars.
We'll get the guy right there along the wall there that they're working on.
So the caution is out so they can close the pit road, keep any more cars from coming down, and move some rescue workers onto pit road to further attend to the injured crew member.
Good move.
So yellow for the first time in the Brickyard 400.
There's Phil Horton, the white guy in the white shirt, the pit crew trainer and also coordinator for the 88 UPS team.
And we'll obviously find out more details on the situation as soon as it becomes available to us and pass it along to you.
Yeah, that's just too much rear brake in the car right there. Man, that's a scary situation.
Oh.
Look at the jack.
Look at the jack, and they're going toward the, and the official just calmly, but look at the damage to the right front.
That's from hitting the
wall.
You get into the wall there, yeah. And when you're sitting there as a driver, you don't want to play anymore right now. You're feeling for that guy that's laying on the ground, your car's tore up, and your day is just about over. You're going to be a lap or two down, and that really, you really feel bad in a situation like that.
So again, pit road is closed and the caution is out because of the Dale Jarrett accident in his pit stall. Further details as soon as we can get them. For now, you're watching NASCAR on NBC. NBC Sports bringing you the 10th running of the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The caution flag is out for the first time in the race. The caution came out because Dale Jarrett's car spun coming into pit road and went through his pit box backwards, colliding with one of the members of his pit crew. We're waiting for NASCAR to confirm the identity of the pit crewman for us, and we'll get any status that we can on injuries as soon as possible.
What's going on down there in the 88 pit, Marty?
Well, Wally, we can tell you that it is Jackman John Bryan, the same one who was injured 2 years ago at Homestead in that accident on pit road there. Sean Parker, how's John?
He's awake and alert, but his legs are pretty sore, and I don't know what happened. We'll have to wait and see what the doctor says.
You know what happened on pit road to cause the accident, Sean?
Well, I mean, you try to race on these racetracks that are 2.5 miles, and pit road's not even wide enough for 2 cars on it, and we're doing green flag pit stops, and, you know, Dale was doing what he had to do. It's not his fault by any means, and he's just coming in to a green flag stop and couldn't get the car slowed down, but this is racing, and you shouldn't be racing on pit roads like this anyways.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Brickyard 400. Some 300,000 fans on hand here today to watch its 10th running, and you're seeing it live on NBC Sports. Under caution for the first time in this race, the field had just begun a series of green flag pit stops when Dale Jarrett lost control of his car, coming to pit road to one of the first stalls up at the pit entrance.
And he's running 130, 40 miles per hour, tries to slow down to 55 to get in his pit. As Wally said, the rear brakes locked up, and backwards he goes, but meanwhile he makes contact with his jack man, John Bryan, and you see his jack going on down pit road. Let's go on board with DJ and listen.
Right over here, right over here, right over here.
Of course, John Bryan was involved in a very scary and injured in a very scary pit road accident at the Homestead Miami Speedway a few years back. Casey Atwood in that red 19 car comes out of his pit, and Ward Burton exits his, knocking Ward's car right into what was then the 28 pit crew. John Bryan and Bobby Burrell were injured in this accident. Fortunately, both recovered.
And go ahead.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and you know, when you're coming in for green flags, normally it's better for, you know, as a driver, you want to come in because it's more room. When you come in under the yellow and everybody comes in at the same time, that's when the pits are crazy. But normally it's a little bit better when it's green flag. Marty?
Well, I talked to John Bryan actually for a long time this morning standing in this pit stall, and he talked about how worried he was about how narrow these pit stalls are. Here at Indianapolis, 14 feet 6 inches all the way across to the yellow line, which the Winston Cup cars are allowed. Most pit boxes at normal racetrack are 18 to 19 feet. Doesn't allow anyone much room to work, especially the jackman. But this was not a case of that. John also said that safety of guys on pit road is the responsibility of the driver, not blaming what happened on Dale Jarrett. Dale didn't have much to do because he had the first pit stall coming in on pit road. So a lot of things came together to make this happen. But John was worried about the safety of all the people on pit road before this race even started because of these narrow pit boxes here at Indianapolis.
You're right, Marty. Most of the guys that are pitting on pit lane hit that line where Dale Jarrett is pitting at 50 or 55 or whatever the limit is. He's got to hit that thing and stop. So he's really charging that pit. That's a difficult pit. You know, that's not one of those places normally you want to pick, except for it's empty getting in. So you've got a clear spot coming in.
Marty was talking about 14 feet 6 inches to the yellow line.
We're talking about in here, the yellow line from pit wall out to the yellow line.
And what's unique about this place, you've got that pit wall that separates the pits and the racetrack, where there's a lot of other racetracks where you have room in case you need to get away from somebody pulling out of a pit. You can get in the grass a little bit, but not here in Indianapolis.
And of course, the accident at Homestead that we showed you a few years ago was responsible for crew members being required to wear helmets on pit road now.
And Bobby Burrell, you talked about, is changing the tires on the Zero car today.
The field is coming to the restart. You see Jeff Gordon being passed by a number of cars.
As Dale Jr.
The people who came in while pit road is closed have to restart at the end of the line, so they're trying to get them all lined up in the proper order. Our NASCAR Busch Series update. Thrilling race last night at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Short track across town. Brian Vickers with his first NASCAR Busch Series win, driving for Hendrick Motorsports. Congratulations to him at a tight championship race.
Tight.
Very tight.
As they head to Michigan a week from Saturday. Carl Edwards, the Missourian, with his second win of the season, driving for Roush Racing. Also at IRP that Friday night, and another great championship fight for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Marty.
Guys, real quick, good things always come out of bad things. As you mentioned, Alan, one of the great things to come out of that accident at Homestead, that all the crew members on pit road wear helmets. This is a piece of the helmet that fell off of John Bryan's just a moment ago. It cracked when he hit the wall. Imagine what could have happened if that helmet would not have been on. Just so thankful that we have these today.
And that's actually part of the visor, isn't it,
It is a part of the visor, the front visor on the right side, Wally.